Next one is on Tim Pool. So apparently, his news site collapsed amid allegations that he took a cat hostage. This has to do with him and his ex-partner having a dispute over the cat, possibly. A cat which, by the way, he never owned. And that cat being used as kind of like a bargaining chip over what's going to happen going forward. Who's going to get what, who gets what items in the house, etc., etc. All is not well, and by the way, as a fan of Maryland, it is very discouraging to see his face under the Maryland flag. All is not well in the burgeoning media empire of YouTube political commentator Tim Pool, amid a falling out over who controls the future of the digital news site that Pool helped launch. The YouTube star is facing accusations from his former partners that he used a cat named Betsy as a hostage in business negotiations, only handing the pet over after the police were called. I'm just imagining Tim Pool. He's got this cat up like this, like over like a blender or something, and the cops like kicking the door, like, put the cat down, put him down. I'm just imagining this scene as Tim Pool tries to leverage this cat's little itty bitty life, the future of the cat's existence, for clicks on the website. We need to send SEAL Team 6 in to save Betsy from Tim Pool and his demonic beanie, okay? He was trying to use my cat as leverage, said Emily Moley, Betsy's owner and former Pool business partner. Pool says he never had custody of the cat, whose return to Molly was eventually arranged to an animal shelter and a Maryland sheriff's lieutenant. Let's be clear. When delivering a cat to somebody should be simple. You bring him in like a cat carrying case, you give it to him, and you're good. It's done. Or you hand it to it physically. Just give it to him. The fact that it had to be arranged through an animal shelter and the sheriff's office tells me that there's more going on here than, oh, here's your cat, milady. You know? Seems like some cat smuggling was going on here. When he's not facing cat-related accusations, Pool is living the life of a YouTube star. His videos, based on Pool's background as a liberal reporter who became a Trump voter after feeling alienated from the modern left. Oh, woe is me. The modern left. It's so evil, so disgusting. And you know, he's with four other leave the left people like Milo Yiannopoulos, now conversion therapy advocate. Yes, so again, when people say the left left me, it's very hard for me to believe it. And then again, let's also put this out there. The left left Tim Pool is supposed to be the narrative, when this guy, well, that's Tim Pool, he's coming to steal my cat. When this guy was pushing Seth Rich conspiracy theory videos on the internet, off of Kim.com's frivolous accusations, which have no backing. He said he had a 50 to 65% chance. He did this in multiple videos off of Kim.com's flaky evidence, and not only in multiple videos, but he also did it in 4chan threads, where he said Seth Rich was murdered for political reasons, IMO, in my opinion. It's confirmed to be Tim Pool in both cases. So, I'm saying this, and I'm saying this with caution as well, because Tim Pool has had a history of going after people who bring up the fact that he pushed Seth Rich conspiracy theories. And that's just a fact. He did. If I came out here and I said, there's a 65% chance that tomorrow the world's going to explode, could you say that I'm pushing a conspiracy theory? Definitely if I'm doing it off of flaky evidence pushed by some hacker on the internet called Kim.com, of course you would. I'm suggesting it. I'm suggesting it with just enough wiggle room that possibly if I'm wrong one day I can wiggle out of it. But he didn't just say it once, he said it multiple times and on a 4chan thread. So yes, he did push for Seth Rich murdered by the Clintons conspiracy theories with no evidence, showing how little evidence it takes to please Tim Pool when it comes to his reporting. Tim Pool will take anything, grasp at any straw if it makes their enemy looks bad. You don't need to do any filter checks, no fact checking, just take whatever makes them look bad. Hell, if we really want to get into it, we can just look at his tour in Sweden. Have any of you seen his videos on Sweden? And when he went there and talked to a bunch of far-right advocates, just kind of like, oh, these are just normal la-di-da people who know how 4chan knows how Sweden really is. When they're saying it right in front of him, like, this is all a Ponzi scheme. It's like hitting, like the anti-Semitism is just hitting him in the face, and it just right over the head. Anyway, back to the article. He has a $1 million mansion in the Maryland woods. Ah, man, I hate he's a Marylander. Complete with a podcast studio and a skate park. Donald Trump invited him to the White House. Pool's business has boomed even as he faces accusation that he's a major vector for right-wing disinformation. A recent report from a consortium of election integrity groups... What is going on? What is going on? Is that a motorcycle race? I hear like motorcycles revving up in the background, man. Tim Pool got a whole gang. He got the Hells Angels to come take up the cats, man. He's gonna steal everyone's cats in the neighborhood. The beanies, they're already at the door. This is the beanie squad. A recent report from a consortium of election integrity groups listed Pool alongside the likes of Donald Trump Jr. and pro-Trump lawyer Sidney Powell as a super spreader for false election information. That doesn't appear to dissuade his more than 3 million YouTube subscribers who can pay $21.99 for a t-shirt bearing the image of his trademark beanie. The allegation that Pool used a cat as a bargaining chip in a business dispute go beyond the fate of Betsy, who is now back with Molly in Los Angeles. Guys, Betsy is safe. Mission accomplished. Thank goodness. We salute you, Betsy, in your service against Tim. This sheds new light on how Pool and his co-founders failed to launch. By the way, if you want to talk about somebody pushing misinformation, Tim Pool, as I've talked about many times before, also pushes the Pipelinistan conspiracy theory. The idea that we got involved in the Syrian civil war over a proposed Qatari pipeline and a counter proposal of an Iranian pipeline. This year was supposed to be the time that Pool's news agency approached 50 staffers and opened satellite offices in Los Angeles and Chicago, according to a pitch deck shown to investors. Instead, Pool has wondered whether her site even exists anymore as a growing concern. In May of 2019, Pool, Molly, and a third co-founder launched Subverse, a news site/YouTube channel news footage service. The site raised more than $1 million on a crowdfunding platform WeFunder with a buzzword-heavy pitch that promised to create a decentralized news network boosted by Pool's massive social media following and the background reporting on protest movements like Occupy Wall Street. Molly worked at Subverse's chief content officer, where she was billed as the queen of content. In May of 2020, Pool brought in Rocco Costero, a former vice editor-in-chief who once journeyed to Guatemala to meet with fugitive security baron John McAfee to run the site's editorial and business operations. Subverse's name was changed to SCNR, pronounced Scanner, for several reasons. There's a porn game called Subverse, so you can't really compete with porn on SEO. Castro and Molly imbued SCNR with the trash-talking pirate ethos of early Vice. In a November update to SCNR's backers, the pair promised to yank what you thought you knew straight out of your nose, like that's the Egyptian god's name. Egyptian king person. Tunk, tut, tucka, tunta, tuntadada, tunta, hunkadun, tunka, tada, tunka ham, and Tarahakaman, Takahanaman, Tanta, Tunka, Tudahakaman, Tutankhamun, Tutankhamun, Brain. They told backers unhappy with the lack of new YouTube videos that YouTube sucks a fat one and advised them to not complain directly to the crowdfunding site like a ding-dong. In response to questions about why Pool appeared to have diminished role in the site, Castro and Molly told Pool's fans to email their glorious leader. Say a little prayer, maybe he'll see it, they wrote. As she traveled the country last year with Castro to produce videos for SCNR, Molly put her cat in the care of Ian Crossland. Ooh, the cat lore begins. I'm so excited. One of the co-hosts of Pool's podcast. Crossland eventually joined a rotating cast of Pool associates living in the Maryland mansion that Pool had purchased in 2020, bringing the new cat with him. Tensions between Pool and his other partners flared this fall over who had access to various internal systems connected to the subverse. Castro and Molly took the unusual step of investigating Pool themselves, with Castro claiming he found evidence that Pool was involved in unsavory internet schemes. The Daily Beast was unable to independently confirm Castro's allegations, and Pool declined to comment on the allegations made by Castro and Molly that didn't relate to the cat, citing ongoing legal issues. Ooh. Oh my gosh, could you imagine? You're Tim Pool, and you're in the scandal, that your latest scandal, after everything, after the Seth Rich conspiracy theory pushing, after the pipeline stand conspiracy theory pushing, after calling Richard Spencer a good guy, all these, after believing Kim.com, all these things, lying straight to Destiny's face during their conversation. It's the cat interview. That's what the reporters are doing you in for now. Man, Tim Pool just stepping into dog duty to dog duty when it comes to these scandals. That fall and winter, a number of far-right figures appeared at Pool's Maryland mansion to appear on his internet show as Donald Trump fought his election defeat. They included InfoWars conspiracy theorist Alex Jones, who helped fund the pro-Trump rally that preceded the January 6th riot, the Proud Boys chairman, Enrique Tarrio, fuck him. Tarrio is now facing felony charges for unlicensed possession of a gun magazine in Washington, D.C. ahead of the riot. Castro began posting cryptically about his investigations into the Pool on Twitter, taunting Pool, who was ostensibly still his business partner. By the way, wasn't Castro the sniveling individual who was upstairs mad molding live tweeting the Tim Pool interview with Vosh because he was angry that Vosh was there? Isn't that who he was? Am I right about that? Am I on the right point about, is that Castro or is that somebody else? Who am I thinking about here? Not Castro, that was Kringler. Adam Kringler. Okay, sorry. Wrong Tim Pool associate. It's difficult to discern the meaning of Castro's tweet, which consists of screenshots of IP logs and domain names. Still, the tweet set off Pool, who could apparently understand exactly what Castro meant. Rocco is posting insane shit in private details, Pool wrote in a text message to Molly. As the riot began, Pool demanded in a voicemail that Molly return to his home in Maryland immediately. You need to call me back right now. A person whose voice closely resembles Pool said in a message, which was shared with the Daily Beast. I don't know what you did, but this is beyond serious. Pool continued without naming exactly what he was angry about. I don't know what's going on, other than what the fuck did you do, Pool said. You need to call me back right. This one's on you. Whatever ends up happening, I had nothing to do with it. Asked to explain the voicemail, Pool wrote in an email to the Daily Beast that it pertains to an internal corporate legal dispute. Man, we're getting no answers to these questions, but a lot of questions being asked today. Much more information on this will be made public in the coming weeks, Pool told the Daily Beast. Oh my gosh. Are we going to have like a 20-page drama doc from everybody in Tim Pool's? Look, if you don't come to the public with a 20-page PDF drama document, nobody is going to take anything you have to say seriously. Yes, Bounty, exactly. We need to see Catgate come to fruition. I need to know that this cat's legal standing is safe and that this cat will be allowed to live their best life. In a labor complaint filed in California, Castro alleges that Pool made irrational and angry threats and demands, demanding that Molly give him the footage Molly shot of the riot. Castro told the Daily Beast and Molly shot footage during the riot of several Pool associates, including Jones. We can only assume he did not want something specifically that was happening at the Capitol to be filmed by Emily that day. Oh, snap. So could this be a case where the Capitol riot obviously did not make the right look good, so he was trying to suppress all the footage they took of it? Or that there was a Tim Pool associate that Tim Pool had to stick his neck out for because they might have dirt on him or something? And hey, you can say I'm pushing conspiracy theories right now, but I mean, Tim Pool would approve. So maybe it's a fact of like, maybe one of his associates at the Capitol did something bad. They got footage of it. They're going to publish it. But if they publish it, then that person who has dirt on Pool, he goes under too. Pool removed Castro and Molly's access to the SCNR YouTube channel on January 6th. A day later, Pool officially fired Castro and Molly, setting off a dispute over who controls what's left of SCNR and who has equity in the company. Pool continued to ask Molly to visit his remote Maryland mansion, according to Molly. I wasn't going to go to his house because he was going to try to take my footage, Molly said. The growing rift between SCNR's executives was bad news for Betsy the cat, who was still living in Pool's Maryland mansion. Molly says Crossland claimed to be unable to help her regain custody of the cat, providing text messages supposedly from Crossland that appear to show him suggesting that Pool, not he, has control over the cat's fate. Oh my gosh. This cat kidnapping is getting heated. I can't get involved with Betsy. You will have to run everything by Tim. She is in good hands until you take her. That's exactly what all kidnappers say. Crossland didn't respond to a request for comment. Molly said she was reluctant to send anyone to Tim Pool's mansion, which looms large in the imaginations of Pool's former partners. A recording of the 2020 meeting obtained by the Daily Beast, Pool discusses owning multiple guns and abandoning urban life after living in New York City and deciding that he was getting the fuck out of cities after sensing the potential for unspecified escalation. He's terrified of cities because he thinks Antifa is going to attack him. Is Antifa just this like ghostly specter hiding behind every skyscraper, ready to come out and get Pool, take off his beanie and reveal the second head that's up there? Antifa's gonna come out. It's gonna pounce. The Antifers, man. The Antifers. They're behind every mountain, behind every creek. He thinks they're not in the woods, but they're there. You think Antifa's just in the cities, buddy? Look, we got the Antifa mountain divisions. We got the Antifa creek divisions. Look, the hippies were the original Antifa. And you don't think there's hippies in those mountains? Good luck, Tim. Pool disputed Molly's characterization, saying he's not concerned about Antifa. I live in the DC area, the political hotspot, and I'm not worried about Antifa, Pool told the Daily Beast. Okay, when people say they live in the DC area, does he mean the metro DC area? Or does he mean like he is like 10 miles from DC or something? Like, what does he mean? Because I live in the metro DC area. I can get on a train right now if I wanted to, and I can go all the way to DC. Quick. Be there 20, 30 minutes. Just train with all the stops. I can get there quicker if I go by car sometimes. Like, what does he mean exactly? Molly was also reluctant to send anyone in her place to Pool's estate. Tim freaks a lot of people out, and telling people you have to go to Tim's compound in the middle of Maryland freaks people out. Come on, Maryland's a safe place. We got bears, and Tim Pool's in the... Okay, wait. Okay, let me ask you all a genuine question. Let's say your flashlight just went out and you're in a dark forest. What would be scarier? Hearing a bear's roar in the distance? Or hearing Tim Pool in the distance? What would be scarier? Gosh. That'd be something. Tim freaks a lot of people out. Okay, I already read that. When Molly tried to get her cat back by sending Pool an email offering to send people to pick him up at the house anyway and to pay for veterinarian's visits so the cat could be cleared to fly on the airplane, Pool referred her to his lawyer? Dude, what? It's a cat. Just give her the cat. Any correspondence must go through our attorney. Please contact them. I will not reply to further emails. But Willie Stocklow, a lawyer who has been asked to untangle the fight over the SCNR's future, told Molly he wasn't handling the increasingly elaborate cat exchange. To the extent your question involves a cat or pet, I can affirmatively set forth that I'm not representing anyone regarding a cat or pet. Clients like cats come in all stripes. I did not represent any cat, as I do not have the workers and experience to represent cats. You don't need experience to represent the cat. You just need to pick up the cat and hand it to the woman. That's the experience you need. This ain't bird law. This isn't Always Sunny in Philadelphia. You don't need a specific cat legalese knowledge. Just give her the cat. AVR, thank you so much for the tier 1. Molly eventually called the sheriff's department in Washington County, Maryland, whose jurisdiction includes Pool's house. While the case wasn't a straightforward theft case, since Crossland had legally taken custody of the cat from Molly, Washington County Lieutenant Joshua McCurley tried to settle the dispute. He talked to someone who identified himself as Pool in an attempt to get the cat back. While the cat was there, communications with the party broke down because of some ongoing criminal or civil matters between them. Mr. Pool was reluctant to have any contact because of that. So he stated that he really wanted to give the cat back. He didn't want the cat, but he didn't really know how to do it without having contact. Just send somebody else to do it. The lawyer could have done it. The lawyer literally could have picked up the cat and given it to him. You could have gotten any of your goons to do it. You could have gotten any of your, I don't know what you call your supporters, beanie babies. You could have gotten any of the beanie babies to do it. She could have sent someone in her place. What she offered to do. The sheriff's lieutenant recommended that Pool drop the cat at an animal shelter where one of Molly's friends could pick him up in an arrangement that would prevent the cat from entering the shelter's general adoption system or being put down. After a few days, the exchange took place. One of Molly's friends flew the cat to Los Angeles. Pool insisted he never had custody of the cat. What a story. The cat was never transferred to me. Emily left it with Ian, and she was talking with him. Pool wrote in an email to the database. The sheriff asked about Ian in returning the cat, and that was it. Molly's friends celebrated the cat's safe return by releasing a video under the banner of the Bobo, a play on the real animals news website, The Dodo, in the place of the extinct bird. The bogus site's logo featured a rat wearing Pool's trademark gray beanie. Oh my gosh! Look! Look at this! Look at the little rat in the corner. It's a little Tim Pool rat. Look at him. Look at him. Oh my gosh, this is great. This is the content I needed. Let's watch this. Because a return was being used as leverage in a business dispute. After multiple attempts to arrange her pickup, Betsy mom had to call the sheriff's office. No, they didn't get any of the cat's stuff. They didn't get any of the cat's stuff. So you mean he just handed over the cat and robbed the cat? He mugged the cat. Tim Pool mugged the cat. Damn. This story keeps getting better and better. So kind of friend stepped in. Rented a car and drove through 6 states. All the way to Hagerstown, Maryland. Hey, I love Hagerstown. I'm away from home for me. We're the lovely staff of the Washington County Humane Society and we're taking good care of Betsy. Betsy didn't know this guy, but she was very patient. Oh, look at him. Even took her on sightseeing tour. He brought her a new carrier and a soft blanket. Even gave her some tasty treats. Aww.
She was the greatest girl. CIA, cat interception agency.
Got a very important pussy here.
Why don't you reveal your face, cat collector?
No. What a cutie. Wow. What a story. What a story. The flight over SCNR remains unsolved, with the prospect of future conflict between its executives looming. On Tuesday, Castro claimed yet again he has new proof of Pool's perfidy. It's not clear who actually owns the site. For the cat, though, the saga is over. She's happy, Molly said. Well, Tim, you cat burglar, I hope you learned your lesson. You haven't, though. What a interesting little kerfluffle this little cat shindig was. What an interesting little kerfluffle.